What are the success habits you recommend to people? If you want to get on in life and you just want to become successful, what are those success habits you would recommend?
Always be learning, study. I would admittedly tell you, and probably with a little bit of embarrassment, I'm not the strongest reader. I'm not a great reader, but I like learning. Audio, visual, and I will learn, I will watch. In today's age, the YouTubes. Back then, I'd be listening to cassette tapes. For those people who remember a cassette tape, and then CDs, I would listen and learn. You just don't stop. You've got to keep reminding yourself, what's the end result? Why are you doing this? What do you want to achieve? And if you can sit down and reflect on the why, and I know you, Ayo, you talk about the why factor. That why, what is the end result of you? What are you trying to achieve? And when you are clear on that end result, you'll find the motivation, you'll find the desire, the discipline to follow through and get the know-how, the education. There's a saying that says, if you want what your mentor or the person that you would like to live their lifestyle, if you want what they have, you've got to do what they've done. And to do what they've done, you need to know what they know. And so you better start studying. What do they know? And by any means necessary, learn.
So you're saying study, find successful people who've got what probably you want, and then find out what they've done to get there. Anything else you'd add to that?
You've got to have a high work rate. And they say a substitute for talent is hard work. And it's so true. That you see that in sports. You'll see sometimes the most gifted footballer may not be the greatest asset. Sometimes it's that footballer who's good but just works. That person might be the great asset. So your work rate, a substitute for talent, is hard work. So I don't believe in get rich quick. And if you do get rich quick, you got to be very careful, because you could lose it as quick as you got it.
What's that one change? If somebody's in a situation and you want to give them some advice on one or two changes they need to make in their life right now to put them back on track, what would be one of those changes?
The one or two changes is firstly discipline. I don't know who I attribute the credit to this, but I remember hearing a young lady on some forum, and she says to work on your discipline. Make a decision of what the things you need to do. So I need to get up early. I need to exercise. I need to do some YouTube learning. Make a decision. So write those things down. And that's easy. And then set alarms for this stuff you need to do. But here's a big one. She said, even when you know what you're supposed to do, you still struggle to do it. She said, use this technique and count to 5. And you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then trick your brain and jump out of your bed. Just get up. Now it's time to exercise. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just start. No matter how much exercise, it could be just a little bit. I practiced this technique as maybe as ridiculous as it sounds, but the getting out of bed was the big one. That was the big one. I would hear the alarm and I think that, that snooze button, but I just keep remembering this one thing, just you got to win the battle against yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you jump out of your bed. I go, I beat myself. And so work on your discipline. Write down the things that you need to do, to be disciplined to do, to achieve what you want to achieve. And work with a mentor on this, because you might be writing down the wrong things. So make sure that you got the right thing. Once you've established that, beat yourself. And once you get that discipline, you said it earlier, I think discipline is the breakfast of champions, or you said something similar to that. It really is. You get your discipline, you're on course.
Really like that. You've got to beat yourself. Your biggest challenge is conquering you. Beat yourself. And discipline is such an important thing. And the reason I like discipline is we're all disciplined in so many areas. It's just some of us are disciplined in the wrong areas. There's nothing in it. Some of you are disciplined at playing pool or surfing the net. You're so disciplined every day. You got to be on. But what about the disciplines that make a difference with you as a person in your life? So you said success means different things to different people. How would you define success? What's your definition of success?
It can be success is happiness. Success is fulfilling your purpose with God. What's God's purpose for you? And are you fulfilling it? If I go down to happiness, if somebody is a gardener, and gets great joy looking at their creativity and does not complain about their lifestyle, their finances, whistle on their way to work and whistle on the way home and say life is good, there's an element of success that also may be challenged by, could you be doing more to leave a legacy for other people? Success, for me, you have to sit down and have that inner conversation with yourself. And I think there's a combination of things. There is that happiness, and you don't always have to be a high flyer to create wealth, but use your creativity, learn. You could just be investing in something. It could be cryptocurrency while you're doing your gardening that's creating some wealth for you. But try and do a little bit more. The tree analogy again, grow until you can't grow anymore.
And I think a lot of people don't think about leaving a legacy. They just say they just spend everything and nothing is left behind. How important do you think that is in driving success?
I think it's very important. This is going to sound really repetitive, but it talks about what's your why. Leaving a legacy, it's selfless. There's an unselfishness about that vision of what can I leave for other people, and nurture and mold those people who are going to be entrusted with this to make sure their thinking is right, to go and do the right thing once that is done. But leaving a legacy, is it important? Yes, if that's your calling, because success is different to different people. If that's your calling, absolutely, yes. Leave a legacy behind if you have the capability and the capacity to do so.